Starring in a huge franchise at a relatively young age can be a lucrative but tough gig for a fresh-faced actor, and it's easy to see how people could possibly crack under the enormous pressure. From the Harry Potter franchise, to the Hunger Games, to Maze Runner, series like this can catapult an actor to stardom and completely launch their career. But it can also bring unprecedented fame, which can be extraordinarily stressful for someone who is just coming into their own. The worst films Hollywood's best actors were in. One of the most infamous examples of this skyrocketing path to stardom is Robert Pattinson, who appeared in the massively popular Twilight series as a brooding, handsome vampire vying for the heart of Bella Swan, as played by Kristen Stewart. Thanks to his role as Edward Cullen, Pattinson, along with Stewart, quickly became a tabloid fixture and a household name. And though some actors may have been hindered by this huge change, Pattinson ended up thriving in his post-Twilight years, racking up art house titles and even stepping into the shoes of the Caped Crusader. From his humble beginnings on the stage to the height of his fame, here is everything you need to know about Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson got his start in local theatre in England. Born in London in 1986, Robert Pattinson started down a very different path when he was younger, getting into music at the early age of 4 and learning how to play both the guitar and the piano. Later, he would go on to perform acoustic sets at local London clubs with his band or under a stage name, maintaining his musical chops throughout his late teen years and into his early 20s. However, as he got older, he caught the acting bug in a big way, citing Jack Nicholson and Jean-Paul Belmondo as some of his biggest influences. And though he didn't initially want to get into acting, especially after one of his teachers told him that he should stay away from the drama club because he was so shy, his dad ended up giving him the push he needed to overcome his insecurities, and Pattinson ended up as an extra in a production of Guys and Dolls. Eventually, he ended up appearing in a leading role in Our Town, which led to other big roles in shows like Macbeth and Tess of the D'Urbervilles, all of which put him on the path to his big breakout role. Robert Pattinson's Harry Potter role earned him a new title. Robert Pattinson ended up scoring his first big break thanks to his stage work, earning a plum supporting role in a massively popular franchise that preceded Twilight. When it came time to cast the role of Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Pattinson ended up scoring the role of the Hufflepuff heartthrob who competes against Harry in the dangerous and difficult Triwizard Tournament. Cedric also appeared in the previous film, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, but he was played briefly by a different actor, Joe Livermore. Pattinson benefited from Cedric's expanded role in the 4th film, and though it would be his last appearance in the season, it got him the exposure he needed. In a post-Potter world, Pattinson received plenty of notice and acclaim, considering that Cedric was a popular, good-looking character who was well-liked by everybody. He couldn't have risen to fame playing a more likable character. He was even hailed as the next Jude Law several times over, which definitely indicated that Pattinson was more than just a simple flash in the pan. Robert Pattinson hated Twilight, but he's since come around. Of course, it's impossible to mention Robert Pattinson without mentioning Twilight, the film that put him on the map. After absolutely bombing another audition in Los Angeles, Pattinson figured he had nothing to lose by the time he got to his Twilight audition, and lo and behold, he booked the role of Edward Cullen, a Washington-dwelling vampire who lives as an eternal teenager and falls in love with a vulnerable human. However, as the years and series continued over 5 films, it seemed like the level of fame that Twilight brought to Pattinson wasn't entirely welcome. During press tours for the films, Pattinson wasn't quiet about his dislike for both his character and the story. In an interview with Esquire, he described Edward as the most ridiculous person, even going so far as to say he hated Edward so much that he intentionally played him as a self-hating monster. Pattinson then went on to say, plus he's a 108-year-old virgin, so he's obviously got some issues there. He also famously went all in on the book's author Stephenie Meyer, mocking her for being mad and for the fact that she clearly saw herself as protagonist Bella Swan. He certainly wasn't alone, considering that plenty of other cast members openly disliked the series and the material that they were given. But recently, it seems Pattinson has mellowed out, and the actor says he no longer hates Twilight, and believe it or not, he claims he even has warm memories of his time on the series. That concludes our video. So, what do you think about these untold truths about Robert Pattinson? Do you know any other untold truths that weren't mentioned in this video? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Before leaving, don't forget to like, subscribe, and bell for notifications on our future content. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.